Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut, and hopefully you like this video. I'm going to talk about the Mets here a little bit, just to sort of give us an idea of what is being discussed and what's the sort of needs and what the Mets are looking for during these 4 days. Um, from Andy Martino, he said on Sunday that the Mets will be looking for three things. They're going to be looking for an outfielder, some starting pitching, and some relief pitching. So it seems like they're not going to bring in any like third baseman or any veteran infielders beyond Joey Wendell, which is fine. Now, there was a rumor on Sunday saying that the Mets were going to be they have a very strong interest in Jung Lee, who's from Korea. He's going to be posted on Monday, Tuesday. His window to be signed, and I don't like give me 100% on this. I think it's 30 days for him. So I think his window to be signed is shorter than Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So it's a little bit kind of a different standard for him. Now he's known to be a guy he's a big fan of Ichiro, and that he doesn't strike out a lot. He's a high on-base percentage guy. He's a high batting average guy. In the previous video, I mentioned that he was a 328 hitter in the KBO, but he's really a 340 hitter in the KBO. And he's been a big-time hitter there in Korea. And he's been a great defensive outfielder as well. From what I understand, the Mets are looking for outfield help that can not only hit, obviously, but in his regard, but also find a guy that is good defensively. I've heard Michael A. Taylor. I'm not too enamored with that. I want guys that can hit. This team needs offense at every level. And you can't I know you have to prevent runs from scoring. You got to be good defensively. But this team needs offensive help. Now, if they were to sign Jung-Ho Lee, I said this in the video late last night, and his video, of course, the Mets would probably consider leading him off, considering he's such a high on-base guy, and maybe perhaps they would think about putting Brandon Nimmo in the middle of the lineup, which if you think about it, he hit a lot of home runs last year, and to me that seemed to be a very interesting spot for him moving forward. So instead of the Mets going and get a pretty crummy DH, an old DH, be a little bit more interesting for them to find a guy to bat leadoff and then move Brandon down lower in the lineup. He might have outgrown being a leadoff hitter at this point. He's a high on base guy. He takes a lot of pitches. He's a tough out. I think we kind of know that's what you want, and a clutch hitter. He'll drive in 90 runs. I mean, you put him in the middle of this Mets lineup, in front of Lindor, McNeil, and Pete. He'll drive in 90 runs easy. That's for sure. Now Yamamoto. Word is from Mike Puma of the New York Post that he's going to be meeting with teams next week, and that the Mets will be one of the teams that he's going to meet with. The word had been that he was coming back to the States after he was posted. He's not going to be signed this week, I don't think, which is too bad. So we'll have a better sense of things next week, which is great. I get to have more videos and fun talking about Yamamoto. I'll get his name right. I'll get to, and you'll get to watch more videos on him. So if you want to watch more videos on him, you hit the subscribe button. He's the best pitcher in Japan. I sort of, I sound like a parrot at this point. I wish I had seen him to give you a better understanding of what kind of pitcher he is. I like to have an idea of how the pitchers are. I don't like going in at it blind. Now we know the Mets need relief pitching. They could probably use... That's the thing about relief pitching. It's so weird that you can develop your own relief pitching. You can bring in guys on minor league deals and they pitch well. Very rarely do you bring in guys on big contracts and they do well. Very rarely. So I hope they don't do that. They haven't really done that the last few years. I mean, they brought in, Trevor May. It didn't really work out. He sort of gave too many home runs. Didn't quite work out with him. And I mean, Brooks Raley was pretty good, but they made a trade for him. Aaron Luke, they signed a few years ago. He pitched well the first year, and then they let him walk. But you don't really see that too much in terms of the long-term contract. Adam Ottavino, he pitched pretty good the first year, and not so great the second year. Dellin Betances was a disaster, but that's a different regime and different ownership. But that's kind of what the Mets are looking at. This is what I heard. And it kind of goes in line from what we've seen so far. This is a team that won 101 games in 2022 with this core of everyday players. But obviously this team needs more pitching. I would mention that Jordan Montgomery is on the radar for the Mets. I don't see why he wouldn't be, considering that he is left-handed. The Mets could use another lefty in this rotation. You know, the Mets have Jose Quintana. He is a very good pitcher. He's got some guts to him, and he's pitched here. Obviously, he's a quality starter. I'm very excited I'd be very excited if they brought him in here because he's pitched well the last 2 years, especially after he left the Yankees. And it seems like the Yankees are kind of kicking themselves for trading him for Harrison Bader, who's a disaster. And was a disaster with the Yankees. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. And maybe they'll sign another pitcher. Somebody, maybe a one-year deal, kind of more similar to Severino. I am not high on Severino like everybody else is. I'm not falling in line where he's a low-risk, high-reward guy. I'm not one of those people. You know, I'll talk about it. I hope that he's able to pitch on a regular basis. But I don't have faith in him because he's not pitched on a regular basis since 2018. So that's how I look at him. But you know, I'm not going to fall in line with the patent line that everyone else does, especially in the media. But again, we have a lot of stuff to look forward to this week. Hopefully, we'll get an outfielder in here. I can guarantee we're going to get a starter in here. The Mets are going to bring in a big pitcher. It's not going to be Yamamoto, but Yamamoto. I'm going to keep screwing up his name. I swear to God. This is ridiculous. Hopefully they're bringing Yamamoto. Yoshimoto. Yo mama. But I'm excited for this. This is winter meetings. You can't do any. There's nothing better than this. I would mention before I end this video. Shohei Ohtani has 5 teams on him. The Cubs, the Dodgers, the Angels, and the Blue Jays. And a mystery team. Who is the mystery team? Could be the Mets. They're not afraid to spend money. That could be the mystery team in this situation. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know anything. But there is a mystery team. So, you'll let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to Baseball Hut. I have more stuff. Keep your eye out for what's going on today. The next few days, got the draft coming up. The draft lottery, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.